Whoop. There we go. Good evening, everybody. Went a little too far on that one. New phone, so I'm trying to get it working. Anyway, good evening, everyone. It is well, you know what it is. It's Friday. Made it to the end of this week. It's been a crazy week. March is definitely, what is it? March comes in like a lion, but comes in like a lamb, goes out like a lion. I think that's what it is. And the Ides of March, and here we are, March Friday, March 20th, 2020. We should be knee deep into March Madness weekend, games, productivity coming to a grinding halt because everybody's watching the games, no matter where they are. Either they're there on person, on television, on a computer, on their smartphone, wherever they happen to be. This is what we should be doing. That's the norm. That's the norm. But the new norm is, well, here we are. This is now the new norm. And sadly, I had to tell my daughter that today. She's off in college and we're making arrangements for her to come back. And I said, well, guess what? Welcome to the new norm. And here we are. So welcome again, everybody. Let's have a chat about leadership for Friday, March 20th, 2020. And I am your host, David Guerra. And thanks for stopping by. This is the show. Let's have a chat about leadership, where I remind you that everyone is either a leader or a future leader. And well, that's it. We're either there or we're not there. We're there. We're going to be there. So remember that. So it is Friday. And on Friday, what we normally do on Friday, I do apologize. It's getting a little weird here. It's Forbes Friday. And again, we're going to talk straight out of something out of the Forbes website today in this case. And your money, the COVID-19, your money. And of course, we'll visit the index. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you the index now. It's terrible. The markets ended on a low. They ended on a low this week because of gasoline or oil prices. Sorry, not gasoline. We're enjoying the low gas prices. That's the good thing behind all of this. That's the bright side. Gasoline prices are not out of control. But folks, remember this, and please don't forget this. It's low. It will go back up. Just like it was once up, it will come back down. Don't forget that. Please don't buy into this false sense of security that gasoline prices will remain low. Yes, they're low now. They're going to get a little bit lower. But ultimately, what is down will go up, and what is up will come back down. It's inevitable. That's how we live. We live in cycles. That's just how things are. So, excuse me. Don't forget that. So don't be fooled. Don't get lulled into a false sense of security. You're thinking, oh, well, gas prices are going to be low and everything will be fine. Be glad they're low right now. Be glad prices are low, because we don't need that added stress on top of everything else. But folks, all it takes is one little thing to trigger it. And but if anything, the coronavirus situation, the pandemic has taught that it doesn't always have to be one little thing either. Again, it can trigger anything, any kind of event. And in the past, there have been events in the Middle East where things would trigger off in the Strait of Hormuz, in Iran, Iraq, Saudi Arabia, anywhere around there, in those Qatar, United Arab Emirates, in that whole region could destabilize the price of oil. But oil is cheap, so again, we're fine right there. So that being said, all right, so as I mentioned earlier, as I mentioned at the start of this show, the markets closed down they closed on a down note because oil prices did plummet, and they were starting to pick up, and things were looking pretty good this morning. I was actually looking at the numbers. I was looking at the charts. Things were climbing. I was like, wow, everybody seems to be having a pretty good day. But at the end of the day, it all closed down. So that's terrible. But again, we're not panicking. We're not in a panic mode. Even those that are living off of the retirement, again, that hasn't transitioned over yet. So what they're living off of right now is because of something that's happened months ago, 2-3 months ago. Okay, you see how that works? So it kind of trickles down. So eventually it's going to catch up with itself, but hopefully the economy, hopefully the situation, hopefully this pandemic situation will be in a much better place than we are now. Right now, as I mentioned before in this show, we're starting to get more data, and that's also starting to ease a little tension, ease a little fear. And because we're getting that more data, it's also showing that, hey, the count is up. The count is up. And the confirmed cases are continuing to grow faster because now the tests are getting out there. That data is coming in, but now they're starting to piece together. I read something today on a different website. Doctor, I forget who it was, mentioned, or they're going to talk about that tonight on one of their shows, how men are more susceptible. Males are more susceptible than females, regardless of the age group. Interesting. So now it's, but again, we're starting to see this thing. At first it was like, oh, well, the young kids are all but, immune to it, all but immune. I didn't say they were, I said all but, and, that kind of came out. And then it's like, oh, well, the young kids are the ones that are going to fare better out of this. And then now it's starting to twist and turn and deviate. So understand that things are still evolving, but now we're getting more data. So the comfort in information will always, lessen that anxiety and increase the growth of the new norm, where we start accepting that, hey, this is now going to be part of our lives forever, but we know this, and every day we're getting more information. So understand that as we get more, the anxiety will start to go down. However, the other side of this is, again, people still not taking this seriously. Many millennials remain unconcerned about coronavirus and still socializing, dining out, and dating. And this is from a Forbes.com poll. So again, many millennials are ignoring urgent warnings to stay home. The latest Forbes Under 30 voter poll found a quarter of young people are not letting the coronavirus change social lives. A shocking 38% of the people say they are dating as much as usual. So there you go. So, and the same with seeing friends and dining out. So I get that. I was young once. We were all young once, those that are older, but we have that sense of invulnerability. We're bulletproof. And even in this case, this whole new thing, this invisible enemy, we're still not seeing and we're not understanding in some cases, because the early information that came out was that the kids will do good, the younger generations will do better, but now things are turning. So again, it's got to be taken seriously, whether they want to hear it or not. In this case, they're going to have to hear it because it's not a good thing. So maintain, and stay on top of it, and pay attention and listen to your leadership, listen to the professionals. And kids, it's going to be hard because, again, they haven't been wanting to, but on the other hand, they're going to have to now. Now they're going to realize that, hey, maybe sometimes the older generation does know a little bit more. But for the most part, it'll be okay. Places shutting down. Again, Illinois, the state of Illinois has enacted a stay-at-home order to combat the coronavirus. New York is shut down. Also, state of Texas, the governor signed shutting down all public schools. Gatherings under over 10. And again, so my daughter's at college, like I said at the top of the show. So we're making her plans to come in. She's going to go online doing the training, doing the schoolwork. So that'll be all right, but we're going to go ahead and bring her home. She wants to come home. So, the door's always open. So that kudos there. But again, it's changing everything. So we're kind of living in a world of, turning on a dime. Consistency is eventually going to return. Confidence is going to return. Anxiety is going to lessen, but it's going to take time to get there. And when we get there, things will be much better. We're going to be in a whole different place. Next, bailouts. Bailouts are starting to, become the thing now. We're starting to talk about that. And it happened after 9/11 and happened after the mortgage crisis and so on. It'll happen again. It'll happen again in the future because crises will happen. And this is the current crisis that we're in. And United Airlines to Washington, bail us out or we're going to lay off employees. And, nobody wants layoffs. Nobody wants employees to be laid off. But again, it does happen. It will happen. So what do we do? Again, look at it very carefully. Because again, no business should ever be in a situation where they're too big to fail. Unfortunately, though, this is impacting everybody. So we've got to be careful. That's our money. And speaking of our money, there is the Corona stimulus package that apparently is going to send $1,200 to every adult that earned under $75,000 a year last year. And then it'll trickle down to like $99,000. And then after that, there won't be any stimulus for that. So they're kind of working with those numbers, $1,200 for every adult and $500 for every child. So, somebody will get some pretty good stuff and somebody will just get the regular stuff. So again, it just depends. But understand that, hey, they're trying something. And folks, don't hoard the money. Do not hoard the money. Save a little bit, because you never know. You should always have that emergency cash. Speaking of emergency cash, let me just step aside. I saw this the other day and it makes perfect sense. We're told to always have a 3 to 6 month supply of emergency funds. Always have a 3 to 6 month, and that's as individuals, we're told that. And who tells us? Well, everybody tells us. Anybody that says, save for a rainy day. In my case, I'll tell you that you never know. The rainy day will come in, and sometimes that rainy day will last for a year or more. But if you prepared yourself and you've saved and you've invested and you have this money set aside, you know what? The rainy day can last a year and you'll have enough to carry you. So again, we as individuals are told to save for a rainy day. Why are businesses not being told? Why does United Airlines need a bailout? Why do these large companies need a bailout? Shouldn't they be saving for rainy days? Don't they? The state of Texas has a rainy day fund. Why don't these businesses? Why is it held just down to the individuals? It needs to trickle down. We start seeing the business, we start seeing the individuals, and then things will be okay. But again, this situation should definitely tell us what's going on and set us up for the future, and prevention and preparation and planning, because it's no longer a matter of if it's going to happen again. It's a matter of when it happens again, because it will happen again. And that's just the way it is. Alrighty. Let's see. Oh, well, last week's value of the put your money where your mouth is, I'm down like almost like $100. It's like $9.90 and change. I don't even want to get into it. It's terrible. But again, we know what's driving it, and it's the oil prices just continue to drop. But again, they're going to hit rock bottom. Things are going to stop. Things are going to turn around. Stock market today looked like it was turning around, which was pretty good until the oil had something else to say. Folks, it's Friday, and most of us are sequestered. Most of us are quarantined. Most of us are in self-isolation, whatever you want to call it. You're at home, you're with the family. Enjoy a lot of great things. Amazon, who else? Well, pretty much any streaming network. They've got first run movies. I know Invisible Man is out there now, so it's still in theaters, but Invisible Man, Disney released, again, but not onto Disney Plus, but Disney released like a week or so early of the last of the Star Wars movies, the Rise of Skywalker. So that's out now, and again, it's like $19.99, and you can watch it at home. So take advantage of this stuff. These are unique times. These are unique times. We're living through history. It's going to be something that your grandkids, your great grandkids, their kids are going to say, "Hey, they lived through this time. That this is what they did, and this is how they came through, and this is how we got better." So get out there, do good, be good, take care of each other. Look out for your health. Look out for the health of others. Don't do anything crazy. Listen to the authorities and avoid close contact. Remember 6 feet, all of that. Stay at home if you're sick. Cover your cough. Clean and disinfect. The fever. That's the one thing people keep saying. Oh yeah, now they're saying there's a couple of other things, but the fever, the trigger point, the tipping point for a fever. If you have a fever of 100.4, 100.4 or higher, go get yourself tested. Don't think, oh, well, I don't feel so good, I must have it. No, it's true. Some people will not show any symptoms, but understand that the tipping point is the 100.4. Don't go crazy. Take care of yourselves and look out for each other. Listen, I'm Dave Guerra. This has been Let's Have a Chat About Leadership for Friday, March 20th, 2020. And until Monday, I'll be back again on Monday with the sports and leadership. If we have any sports, I really don't know what kind of sports is out there. Maybe some esports. We'll see. We'll talk about it then. In the meantime, take it easy. Be good. Talk to you soon.